those of you guys that come in, please see if you can hear me. I had some technical difficulties as far as sound here. So if you guys could help me out and let me know whether or not you can hear me. I'm joined, but I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. I don't know. I need to jump on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. I'm going to jump on Restream. I'm joined, but I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's Patrick. Okay. I don't know. I need to jump on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. I'm gonna jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect, but then I have. I'm going to jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect, but then I have. I'm going to jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect. I'm going to jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect. I'm going to jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect. I'm going to jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect. I'm going to jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect. I'm going to jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect. I'm going to jump on Restream. I don't have a camera. Mr. Patrick, can I ask you a question? I'm trying to figure out. Go ahead and join. I'm not sure what else. That's like. I don't know. I need to jump on. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to end this, and I'm going to jump on. It won't connect. Okay, maybe I got something going now. Maybe I got something going now. Maybe I got something going. Maybe. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, I can hear myself, which is good. That lets me know that I'm in good standings where I can hear myself. All right. Let me see if I can invite. I'm gonna share this to some Idaho folks. Hold on one second. Let's see. My honey's sleeping. Brandon's probably sleeping. You won't let me invite half the people I want to invite. Okay, what's up, Brad? What's going on? I'm glad you can hear me. Finally. Sorry about that. So make sure if you are on HAPS, which you're probably not yet, please go ahead and join over on HAPS.tv. I've been doing a lot of broadcasts from there. If I can kind of get the hang of this thing, I'm gonna be doing it from there. All right. Hold on. I'm like setting my stuff to music for some reason. Yes, I'm playing. Hold on. What a day already. Okay. Connected. I'll tell you. I don't know. Anyways, can you send an invite? I guess I could. I don't know how to do that. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I see it now. Oh, okay. I guess I sent you one, Mr. Patrick. Okay. Come on in, sir, if you're coming. Why is it not playing my music, man? Okay. I'm just about to give up. I'll put it up on Restream here in a minute. As soon as nobody comes in. Okay. Okay. Mr. Voss, why do I look familiar to me, sir, on your profile pic?
Hey, sorry, I don't have a camera working right now, but I'm a broadcaster from Chicago.
Oh, I'm looking at your address right now, and you look familiar to me for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Are you Terry Bulls fan?
Yep, that's me.
Okay, that's why you follow me. Yeah, Pat
No,
Voss, the Golden Sports Show. I used to be at IMS. I worked for a few radio stations. Yeah, so that's how you know me.
And then the fact that you're from your address says Palatine, Illinois.
Yeah, and I should change that to stop showing that on a lot of live broadcasts. It should say Chicago by default, just so people don't see it.
But here's what's funny is that I lived in Palatine for 4 years.
Okay.
I was like, nobody looks familiar to me for some reason. I'm not sure how long I've been following you forever, but especially with that address. Anyways, so you can hear me, right?
I can. Yeah, you were having some issues there early, but now you're good.
Okay. I think what was going on is that with this Rodecaster, if it's not on, like when you're ready to do something and cut it on like in the middle, it takes a while for it to connect. And then I have two channels. I have a Rodecaster, a stereo channel, and then I have a Rodecaster multi-channel, right? And so I have to make sure I'm on the right one in order for people to hear me.
And that's why I love USB mics instead of XLRs. That's why, yeah, because I have the Rode Podcaster, so I have the USB version.
Ah, okay. I didn't know there was a USB version, is it?
There is, yep. Plugs right into my PC. I'm able to do all my shows, all my interviews, all my commercials, all from one spot, and I don't have to have a mixer.
See that? I need to do, but I wanted to get fancy. That's what happened. I wanted to get fancy, and my wife took care of me for Christmas, and she got me a pod mic and a Rodecaster Pro. So
trust me, I wish I'd get for Christmas. I want the Procaster or the Shure SM7B. Those are the two mics that I want.
Oh yeah. Actually, I got a cloud lifter if you want to buy one.
You got a what?
A cloud lifter. If you ever get an XLR, I mean, that's that.
Oh, very nice. Yes.
So apparently, I didn't need this because I got the Rodecaster and the pod mic, and people was like, "You need a cloud lifter for that." This is all you need is just a Rodecaster and the mic. So I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, trust me, I would need that if I got the SM7B.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you ever get it. Let me know. I got it. I got you.
Appreciate it.
But I thank you though, because I was struggling for a minute, and I know what was going on. I still can't get my background music to play. Well, it'll come. It'll work. I guess eventually. At some point, it'll connect and all that jazz.
Yeah, I'm having some people on next week for my podcast. Roberto Duran's kid.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Duran Jr., and also a part of Money Mayweather's team, Link the King, the promoter.
Oh, man, you're doing it big over there.
It's going to be fun.
One day I get as big as you.
Here's another thing.
What's that?
I'm media now for the Tokyo Olympics 2021.
Look at you.
I'm headed to Tokyo for 3 weeks next year.
Man, look at you. I know. That's how you know you made it when you're doing the Olympics. That's how you know you made it. Well, yeah. I'm just trying to get 1,000 people on TikTok, brother. That's me.
That's good though. That's good. TikTok's not for me only because of what I do. There's just no way. I can't. TikTok is not my aim. But I will say a lot of like for Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, that'd probably be my main thing. See where I can get from there. And then also here in Chicago, WPBM might be hiring at the first of the year for the radio station, and I might be headed over there full time. And there's Do
your thing, man. Well, I appreciate you for coming on, man. Good luck to you. Merry Christmas and all that jazz.
Appreciate you.
All right, brother.
All right.
Okay, let's see. Nobody's coming to my live except for Mr. Voss here. I'm a little bit upset about that. Let me see. Okay, all right. So, hey, Brad, I got some folks in here. Willette and Richard are in here. Hey, so if you guys are in here, please let me know you're still here. Real quick, I'm going to get into my spiel. Mr. Voss wanted to come on and help me out with my sound. I had some struggles in the beginning. But like I said, Merry Christmas. Hey, Dakota. Merry Christmas to my house, to yours. And this year has been trying. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you. This year has been trying with everything we've gone through with the losses and COVID and things being shut down and school being let out and stuff like that. So this has been a rough year. So to make it this far into Christmas, man, make it to Christmas is a blessing. 300,000 plus Americans that can't just do that. But we're not gonna go there today. But anyways, glad you're here. Hey, Lana, what's going on? And everybody else here. This is going to be a shout out version of this particular podcast. So make sure that you share this broadcast out. Right. So according to my title, it does say Merry Christmas, and also it says Goodbye, Idaho. So those of you who've been watching or listening, that's been following me for a while. Those of you guys know that me and Melissa and the family are moving out of state. This is our last week here, coming up on our last week, and we'll be pulling out on Thursday next week. And so, what I want to do real quick was to take a quick stroll back into the 4 years that we were here and the impact that being here had made on my life. And I want to thank a few folks. So if you are in the fold, if you can, kind of share it out, please, I'd appreciate it. I remember coming here 4 years ago and being scared out of my mind, we're coming to Idaho because, Idaho is predominantly a white state, a lot of white folk, and black men, right? And so I was a lot nervous about moving out here, but the circumstances that surrounded the move in the beginning, it was worth the move. It was just worth it. Those of you guys know any backstory on me and where I came from. So the move was crazy all by itself. So a lot of people don't know how we got here. People just know we just showed up one day. We didn't just teleport from Chicago and North Carolina to here. I'm sorry, Lana. She said I don't like to go by part. I'm sorry. But yeah, so the initial, we came out here. We didn't have anything really. I think I had a duffel bag, and Melissa had some stuff at her mom's house, and she had her little bit of stuff, and it was in the middle of the summer. So this is 2016, right? So we were coming out here, and she had stuff. We had stuff strapped to the top of the. She had a minivan at the time, and she had the stuff strapped to the top of the minivan, and we had. At the time, we only had two kids. We only had Zariah and Javante. They were babies, And so We loaded the van and, we drove across country, going to a place of uncertainty and not knowing was hard, and then being in a different emotional headspace was different. Was scary enough. What's up, Russ? Your comments, you guys' comments are not showing up on Haps. Thank you. So I can't see you. So we made this trip, and I remember when I first got here, I had a job at a casino, right? So I was a pit boss and a blackjack dealer down at Cactus Pete's in Jackpot, Nevada. So I just want everybody to know that, I appreciate everybody down there at Cactus Pete's. Even though they wouldn't hire me back, but that's besides the point. I'm trying to get my background music to play, but it won't. Okay, I'm done with it. So we come out here, we move into at the time, one of our close friends, his basement. We moved in his basement. And, even though we're no longer friends, I appreciate him to this day because he gave us the opportunity to have a place to land once we moved to Idaho 4 years ago. So we moved in his basement, and we eventually moved out, and we moved to Havy. We moved into we moved out of Jackpot because Jackpot had their own housing. So we moved to Jackpot, Nevada. So if you guys remember me, if you really follow me for long enough, you know that for a little while I was down in Jackpot, Nevada doing some stuff. And that was because I was living on campus at Cactus Pete's. Lived there for a little while, and then now the whole time we had some great friends or the people that were no longer in contact with, but they were still instrumental in us being here and why we were here and all that. So a lesson that I learned, and I'll try to tell everyone that's listening here, is that when people say that certain folks are in your life for a reason or a season, that's true, right? That's a very true statement, and that's one of the first things that I learned out here, is because the people that brung us here, or people that we've not necessarily followed, but took their advice and said, "Hey, those very same folks are the folks that, at the end of the day, weren't there." You know what I'm saying? They were there for that season, And so by this time, Melissa's pregnant with Terry Jr. And so we're down in Jackpot, and she's hating it, and I'm kind of digging it because it might be my hometown, and she's like, let's move back to Twin. And so we got to move into the house of the friend that when we first moved here, we lived in his basement. So we actually got the chance to rent the house that we were living in the basement. So that was great. So I'm gonna make this story short. I don't want to. It's a long story. I'm gonna give you a short version, but getting ready to pull out of here this coming Thursday. I gotta tell you guys, to be honest with you, it's bittersweet. It's really bittersweet, and I'm not looking forward to Thursday. I'm really not. Excuse me. Even though it's a few days away. Hey, Ebbs. Hey, Keisa. What's going on, you guys? Make sure you please share this out if you don't mind. It's bittersweet for me because I've met some amazing folks outside of the folks, even the folks that I feel have wronged us, have done us wrong, talked about us, whatever. All those folks are still. Merry Christmas to you too, Keisa. those people were still instrumental in the growth that we had here in Idaho, because when we first came here, we had absolutely nothing, other than just us, my duffel bag, some of her stuff, and the kids. We didn't have anything. But we've met some amazing people throughout. Another life lesson that I've learned is that sometimes we just have to hold on, even though it seems crazy, even though it hurts sometimes, but sometimes we just have to hold on to certain things and certain people, and there are some folks that we lost. That's why it's okay. That's why people say it's okay to let go of toxic people. It's okay. It really is. I mean, if somebody's in your life, they don't mean you no good, cut them loose. If at the end of the day, you're not happy with where you are, change it. That's where we are. And I want everybody to take it from people that moved to a state that had nothing. I knew nothing of Idaho, outside of potatoes. That was it. I knew nothing of Idaho after that. And the story that I tell all the time to people, because I get it all the time, how'd you guys end up in Idaho? And I tell them the story, and they're like, huh? Hey, Abigail. And I actually had to Google Idaho where it was. But real quick, I'm gonna make this short. I'm gonna shout out some people, and I'm gonna tag them. They may watch it, they may not, but and I'm actually gonna mention some folks that we're no longer friends with, but I'm gonna mention them anyway because they were integral. All right. I want to mention Steven Seaman. He's the first guy I want to mention. Steven Seaman was the man that allowed us to live in his basement when we first moved to Idaho. I appreciate him, even though we're no longer speaking, we're no longer friends, and that's fine. That's their reason for, seasons for people. And I appreciate him for allowing us. Hey, Suzanne, allowing us to stay in his basement. We appreciate him, because if it wasn't for that, we never would have came to Idaho. So that's the first thing I say. Family is some of the most toxic people we know. Family stop participating in the toxicity. I choose to stay. I'm reading. Okay. Choose to stay home. Exactly. Sometimes, it's okay to say bye to all that stuff. You don't need it. You really don't. So Steven Seaman, Rachel Seaman, well, she's married now, but she was the person that got me my first gig here in Idaho. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have a job in Idaho. So even though, like I said, we no longer speak, we no longer, have a relationship or anything like that, but I appreciate you. If somebody gets this back to them, I appreciate you. Thank you. Because if it wasn't for you guys, we probably wouldn't have this feature. We probably left Idaho a long time ago. So I'm appreciative of you guys. Tiffany and Don Dixon, even though we're no longer speaking and we're not friends anymore, here's the thing. You guys' support when we first moved here was amazing. Had it not been for you guys' support, we wouldn't be in Idaho. So I will say this, and I will say this in love, and I will say this with all of the respect that I have in my heart. Thank you. Because if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't. Nope. And that's kind of thank you, Abigail. Even though we don't have a relationship anymore, I still appreciate, because this is what happened. God brought you guys into our lives. If it was only for just that season. But see, here's the problem with that some folks I think have, is that we want to keep people in our lives forever that God meant for just a season. And that's the problem that we have. And that's the big struggle, because I want to hold on to Sally forever. When God said, I just want Sally there for a season for you. So continuing, Tiffany, Don Dixon, Rachel and Steven Seaman, all those guys. Well, like I said, Rachel's married. I think she's I can't think of her name. But anyway, thank you guys. And so I want you to understand too that even in the losing of those friendships, it was hard. It was hard on Melissa. It was hard on me because when you start dealing with people, right, it sets up a certain dynamic. Hey, first mama, what's going on? It sets up a certain dynamic because you now have focused your life on certain people. Let's say, for example, like my brothers of legacy, AD and Pastor Brian and me and Dwayne Goodson, they are a part of my life, right? And there's a certain dynamic in my life. If I stop doing brothers of legacy, or if we stop being friends or whatever, that changes the dynamic in my life because I don't get up in the morning I wouldn't get up in the morning and do the broadcast anymore. So I say that to say this is that when you have people in your life and you lose them, it changes things. But sometimes change can be a good thing. But so even in losing those friendships, I am still appreciative of those people. Stephen and Lisa Schmigall, if this gets back to them, I want them to know that I want to thank you. This is what happened. This is why Stephen is big in my life. Is because when I lost my job at Cactus Pete's, he was the first one to give me an opportunity outside of Cactus Pete's. Even though I was moving furniture, which I hated, but he was the dopest boss this side of the Mississippi, and I appreciate him for that. And Stephen in himself has a story. Merry Christmas to you, First Mama. Stephen himself has his own story. I won't get into that. It's not my business to tell. But I appreciate him and Lisa for being a part of their life. We still speak. Steve moved away from Twin. He's now living in Meridian, him and Lisa. And so we appreciate you. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a mover, lose some weight, and move some furniture here in Idaho. It was crazy. So, and then, we get into the more current family members, Alicia Roach and Kaylin and Lana Jones and all of those folks that are in here. I don't know if Lana if she's still watching, but if she is, I want to give a special shout out to Lana, and I'm going to do this. I'm trying to be emotional. Lana and her daughter, Kylie, they are babysitters to my son TJ, or they have been, babysitters. But the fact that she loves my son like her own and always accepted him and all that, we appreciate. I'm gonna miss her. And so, yeah, I'm gonna miss her. So Lana and Kaylee, they'll be missed. Caitlin and Alicia, all you guys, they have become forever family. There was one point where I didn't even like Alicia at one point, to be truthful, but she has become family. Over the last couple of months, and it's crazy. And I know you're probably thinking, Terry, why are you doing this today, Christmas Day? Because I'm an emotional dude, and I'm not waiting till Thursday because I'm gonna be a wreck anyway. And so I want to go ahead and get out of the way. I want to give a shout out to Allison and Bruce Hayes. Allison was the second daycare to take Terry Jr. when we lost when Terry first got diagnosed as autistic. He was the dad of the daycare that he went to, and they loved him as much as they could. They did what they could, and it's hard. Even though we no longer converse and talk to the Hayeses, I want to thank you. If this gets back to them, I want them to know that I appreciate you. The circumstances that ended our friendship weren't the greatest, but I appreciate you for who you were and who you in our lives at the time. Like I said, seasons. I want to shout out all of my groomsmen at my wedding. Jared Finn, Philip Stevens, Thomas Aiken, AJ Lloyd. Who am I missing? Well, Brad's brother-in-law, so he's still family, but still, all of the guys here in Idaho that were, part of my wedding. Annette, who came from Illinois to be part of Melissa's bridal party. Lindsay Schomburg. You got, all those folks. Who else? Crayola Jones, who's part of she wasn't in the wedding party, but she was at the wedding and she assisted with, all the guys from Celebrate from CR. There are so many people. I can't even name them all. I can't name them all that have been integral in our growth here in Idaho. I oftentimes wonder what life would have been like had we not moved to Idaho. Because I came here with my girlfriend and her 2 kids. I want y'all to catch this. When I first came here, I came here with my girlfriend and her 2 kids. But I'm leaving here with a wife and a family. Let that sink just for a second. Because, Abigail said, I found that most people are not meant to be in our lives forever. I finally found it. I'm with it too. I don't try and keep anyone stuck because we often unconsciously keep each other stuck. Yeah, that's true. We do. We try to hold on to people. It's only meant for a season. But when I think about that, anybody that was there at my wedding, no, that's right, girl. Anybody that was part of my wedding, Annette was there, and she'll tell you. There was a part of the ceremony, you know how when the bride's coming down the aisle, and because we did a first reveal, first look, meaning I didn't see Melissa in her wedding dress until until the day of the wedding. She was coming down the aisle, and so I had my back turned at the altar. My best man Phil had me turn around, and he said, Terry, look, he said, man, she's coming. He whispered in my ear, and I turned around, and I saw her for the very first time in her dress. There are no words to describe the feeling in that moment. No words. I think I just hunched over and just thought I just bawled right there at the altar. It was crazy. At the time, it was so much stuff going on, and that moment was the culmination of 6 years of pain before her going away. Just so you guys know. I guess I love it when a man tells stories of that wives that are lay. I'm telling you. And they say it was an awesome moment. I guess it was pure love. And I'll tell you, to this day, it still chokes me up. And I try not to, I think about it as much as I can, but I try not to, but that moment was just pure. I can't even describe it. Even now. And I'm like, that's my wife. That's my wife. Like I said, I think about that moment, and I think about when we were driving out here in the minivan 3 years prior, uncertain, not knowing what's going to happen. So many different variables, so many different situations that could have turned and went left. But that moment, I said, that's my wife. That's my wife. And the night before was funny too. She got laughed for a second. She did. Too often we tend to tell what's wrong with our partners. I like hearing what's right. Exactly. I mean, she it was just a beautiful in that moment. And what I'm thankful for the most is that nobody can take that moment from me. You know, I can have a lot of I can have a lot of things from my life subtracted, but that moment no one can take from me. There's another moment that people can't take from me was the day that my son was born. Well, there's two moments with that. Um, when when she was I think 6 weeks or however long, um, we went to go see the gender. Did a gender reveal. It was an early one, right? Because you got to be a certain you be a certain trimester or whatever before you can see it in the ultrasound or whatever. But we went to a place and the lady did a gender reveal, and what's up, Kevin? Good morning, man. Merry Christmas. I guess I'm glad you did the Christmas morning. I'm starting my day with a different perspective on gratitude. Thank you. You're very welcome. And so we went to this lady. She was a freaking genius, right? And so she did this ultrasound, did a gender reveal. And now those of you that know me know that I have two biological girls, Tanika and Brianna. So I didn't, hoping for a son, not really knowing. Excuse me. She did a gender reveal, and she showed on the ultrasound, this little thing, right? And so I'm sitting there. I think Melissa still has a picture of that. I'll probably have her post it later. But when she said to me, "It's a boy," I remember losing all my stuff, just kind of, But I was still in shock, right? Until we left there, excuse me, we left there and we went to Target. And so we went to the baby aisle and so looking for stuff. And she started pointing at Daddy's Boy and football and, all of this. So I'm standing in the middle of Target and I'm losing my stuff in the middle of Target because I'm like, I got my first son. I don't know what I'm going to do. Is he going to like me? He's going to be, and I went through all of that. But that moment when I found out I was having a boy, and the moment they cut her open to deliver him are two other moments in my life that no one can ever take from me. And it has just been crazy, And I think about when we first came out here, we didn't have anything. We didn't have anything. And now we're leaving here with family, friendships that's long lasting. That if I want to come out here and visit Lana and Willie, I can hop on a plane and come and see Lana and Willie. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of it's the kind of thing. I know it's Christmas morning and you got things to do and you with your family, and I understand it. But listen, in this moment, hug them, kiss them, tell them that you love them, not because it's Christmas, but because it's what it is. And it was good. I mean, let me shout out some more folks real quick if I can. I'm gonna go. Okay. I've been through a lot. I met some folks. I made friends with folks. I fell out with some folks. I've done all this. I want to publicly say this to everyone that's ever ran into me and has ever dealt with me, and we fell out or something happened or we didn't click on all fours or whatever. I want to say I apologize to you because going into 2021, I am going to owe no man nothing but love. Okay. I'm not going to have somebody's stuff hanging over my head. I'm not going to have nobody beefing with me on the low. None of that. We're going into 2021 with love for every single person that's ever ran across these big old marble eyes of mine. And that said, you guys are blessed. I love you guys. God is good all the time, and all the time God's good. Absolutely. And that I can't wait to get up there and see you, girl. You crazy. I love you though. So the last set of folks that I'm going to shout out real quick are my current employers. My current employers. Now I talked to them the other day, two of my managers, but real quick, if I can shout out Brandon Shermet, Ross Mason. Those two are my managers at my current job. Con Paulos, who's the owner of the dealership. Costa Paulos, who's the general manager as well. All of these folks gave me the opportunity. Thank you, Kisa. Same to you. I do, girl. You my chick. These folks gave me the opportunity to sell or in the current career that I'm in. Leaving Idaho for me is the hardest because of them. You know what I'm saying? Because, I kind of got started in this car game. I started working at Con Paulos January the 6th of 2020. I never would have thought in a million years that January 6th of 2021 I'd be someplace else. You know what I'm saying? But it is it's kind of what it is. Life happens, and you have to adjust to life. But I want to shout out Brandon first, because Brandon actually gave me the opportunity to become a salesperson. Because if it wasn't for Brandon, I never would have gotten to this car game. So Brandon Shermet, I know you're never going to watch this live, but thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity. Ross may watch it. If I tag him, he may watch it. But thank you for being just awesome. But we've already talked about that. Costa Paulos, who is just an awesome dude. He's kind of like have you ever seen that movie Over the Hedge? It's kind of like he's like Hammy. He's like all over the place, But he just brought in his son back before Thanksgiving, baby Gus. He's just been awesome. Thank you for all of the opportunities. Con Paulos, I know who will never watch this live, but thank you, sir, for being a dope boss. Every time that we hit a record, he took care of his employees. So I appreciate you for doing it. Chris Day and Chris Oglesby, who I'll probably tag in this broadcast. He is the parts guy. He's dope. He struggled. He's just, it's a really cool dude. Eberito Escobedo, Eddie down there at IEC. If you guys are in Jerome, you want a car, and you don't really want to do a dealership, you can do Eddie, who is kind of a buy here payer, pretty cool dude. Christina Figueredo, who I know I will tag in this video. Thank you for being that. Is there something you need? Then why are you standing in my life? Thank you. So the kids come in and they hear me on the mic, and they see me on camera, and they'll prop their little butt right here and look dead in my mouth. But anyway, all those folks that come, Paulos, Robert Sneed, who I'll probably tag in this video, Vanessa Mendoza, who else? Josh Gregg, George Whisk, who I know I'll tag in this video. A lot of folks that I've ran into. Long story short, and I don't want to miss anybody. If I missed you, charge it to my head and not my heart. Giovanni, Ethan, and Scooby Escobedo, Miss Claudia, and Yahida, and all of you guys, listen, I am going to miss every single person at that dealership. Eric Lee, who lost his grandson here a couple of months ago, and I was just torn apart because of what happened with his grandson with leukemia and everything. But we were a family, and it's hard to think to consider not being a part of that family. So that's why I say it's important that you cherish the friendships that you have, cherish the family that you have that, in your life, because you get one shot at this thing. One. I hadn't considered that. I know. It's surprising. And the only reason why I remember Abigail is because I still work there until Thursday, and then I'll be, asking me again a year from now. Oh man. But all these folks, like I said, even though folks I don't even talk to anymore, you know, intricate part. Every person that I came into contact with here in Idaho, I appreciate them because the man that I'm leaving here as is a result of dealing with certain people. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that I want to send this simple Christmas message to everyone that's listening. Merry Christmas, first of all. But take into what's up, E-Dig? What's going on with you, man? Take into consideration the situation and the people that's in your life. Look at them. Today, when you're sitting around the table and you're eating, you're looking at it and you're having fun, you're playing the oversized Jenga and all that. Look at them and say, you know what? I love you, and not because it's Christmas, because of who you are to me. Because, like I said at the top of this thing, is that 300,000 plus Americans didn't get a chance to say Merry Christmas. So be mindful. Whatever issue that you got going on in life right now, if it's stank to you, that's fine. Let it be stank, but don't stay there. You know, if you got folks in your life that's not working out for you like that, they rub you the wrong way. Listen, let them go. You know, let that thing go because it's not important. So thankful for a new look at gratitude. Thank you. Oh, I miss you too, Nat. We'll be up there, so we'll be awesome. But it's Christmas 2020. There will never be another. Okay? So let's take today and say, I love you. I mean that. And this is people that's in your circle that you probably have never thought about talking to. But for your soul, for your mental, listen, love them people. It's Christmas. Y'all finna go tear some turkey and some ham right now. I already know it. I got a tenderloin here somewhere because we don't want to cook too much because we don't want to take stuff. Excuse me, when we go. But love the people that you rock with. Love the people that you don't rock with. Because being mad, being upset, don't miss your blessing because you're pissed off. All right, but I'm gonna go. I love you guys. Listen, I appreciate you guys listening to me. I hope you share the broadcast. It's a fat guy is hungry. Don't do that. But thank you. But today though, embrace what you have. This has been like I said, this has been a rough year, man. And we probably got some rougher days ahead. We don't know. But take today though and say, I'm not going through today. Not today. Not today. Okay. You gotta have that mantra like not today. And tomorrow ain't looking too good either. Oh, I'm sorry, Siobhan. Not today. We have another opportunity. When people say every day is a gift, it is. That's why they call it the present. Same to you. That's why they call it the present, because it is. And so take today and choose it. Thank you, Abigail. Take today and choose it. We don't know what's gonna. We don't know what's on the other end of the bend, but this is what we do know: is that we choose the choice that we have to either love or hate, forgive or not. It's a choice. See, that's us, right? So take today, take tomorrow, take whatever you need, and let's do this. Okay. But I'm gonna go. See you guys later. We'll talk after the first of the year. All right, y'all.